Calaroga Shark Media.
From Georgia, where Kamala Harris's interview was even more boring than Season 2 of Rings of Power. That's a joke for the nerds out there. This is Ballot.
That's right. And I could have pre-taped today and had a nice long weekend, but no, the Democrats had to make me work on the last summer Friday. That alone might get me to vote for Trump. At least his craziness is kind of evergreen, as you'll see on Monday if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's hit this. Well, folks, Vice President Kamala Harris just gave an interview on CNN. And let me tell you, I haven't been that bored since my crazy ex-girlfriend Norma told me all about her yoga class. Anyway, our esteemed VP was asked about her evolving policy positions, and she responded with all the clarity of a mud puddle in a rainstorm. Apparently, her values haven't changed, but her policies have done more flip-flops than a politician at a pancake breakfast. Harris explained her stance on climate change, saying they've applied metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. Wow, what a revolutionary concept. Using time to measure deadlines? Who would have thought? She then went on to discuss border security, reminding us all that she was once the Attorney General of California. Because nothing says, I'm tough on border security, like reminiscing about your old job. But the real gem was when Harris declared, my values have not changed. Well, that's a relief. I was worried she might have suddenly developed a taste for pineapple on pizza or something equally controversial. Harris is hugging Biden's policy legacy tighter than a kid with their favorite teddy bear. She's selling Biden's accomplishments like a used car salesman trying to offload a '92 Pontiac with character. But don't worry, she's also promising a new way forward. Because nothing says fresh start like 4 more years of the same old song and dance, right? Harris is hunting for Republican votes like a vegan at a steakhouse. She's even thinking about putting a Republican in her cabinet. I guess she figures if you can't beat him, hire him. When it comes to talking about her race and gender, Harris would rather discuss the finer points of watching paint dry. She shut down Trump's comments faster than a teenager closes their laptop when their parents walk in. Same old tired playbook, she said. Next question, please. Ouch. I haven't seen a shutdown that fast since my last attempt at dating Cheryl Hines. But folks, when it comes to off-the-cuff answers, Harris still struggles more than a cat in a bathtub. She gave an answer about Biden stepping down that was longer than the line at the DMV and about as clear as mud. Meanwhile, Tim Walz, well, he's mastered the art of sitting and smiling. He went a full 8 minutes without speaking. Which, Governor Walz, if this election doesn't work out, would you mind teaching my crazy ex-girlfriend Norma how to go 8 seconds without speaking? I've seen mannequins with more screen presence than Tim Walz. Donald Trump seems to be auditioning for a one-man show called How Many Insults Can I Fit in a Month? He's been slinging words at Kamala Harris like he's trying to win a prize at the state fair. Whack job, communist, dumb as a rock. It's like he's playing insult bingo and trying to fill the whole card. And let's not forget the creative spelling. Kamabla instead of Kamala? So picture this. J.D. Vance, the GOP's vice presidential hopeful, decides to tell Vice President Kamala Harris to go to hell. Now you might be thinking, what could possibly warrant such a warm and fuzzy message? Well, hold on to your hats, because the answer is absolutely nothing. That's right, folks. Vance told Harris to take a trip to the underworld over some criticism that, wait for it, never actually happened. It's like getting mad at your neighbor for borrowing your lawnmower when you don't even own one. Talk about tilting at windmills. But wait, there's more. When asked if he'd apologize to the Arlington cemetery worker who was pushed aside faster than a salad at a burger joint, Vance said, nah, I'm good. Apparently, in Vance's world, saying sorry is harder than finding a snowball in, well, you know where. You may recall the Trump campaign decided to turn a somber visit to honor fallen soldiers into a TikTok extravaganza. Because nothing says respecting the troops quite like using their graves as a backdrop for your campaign video, right? Now, the Army's not too pleased about this. They've issued a statement that's about as subtle as a foghorn in a library. Turns out, there are these pesky little things called federal laws and Army regulations that frown upon turning sacred ground into a political stage. Who knew? Well, it looks like we've got ourselves a political ping-pong match over Amendment 4. First up, we've got the Vote No on 4 campaign, tap dancing around Trump's apparent support, like it's a minefield at a square dance. They're busy reminding us that Trump's not a fan of late-term abortions. Because nothing says, we're ignoring the elephant in the room. Quite like pointing at a giraffe. Am I right? Meanwhile, the Amendment 4 folks are playing the it's not political, it's personal card. They're saying abortion is as nonpartisan as a potluck dinner. Sure, and I bet pigs will fly coach class any day now. Trump's doing his best impression of a political chameleon, trying to change colors on abortion faster than a mood ring in a sauna. He's now all about making IVF free. Free IVF. Next thing you know, he'll be promising free puppies and rainbows for everyone. Let's look at the world of Swifties for Kamala, where the only thing more confusing than their name is their actual connection to Taylor Swift. These folks are like the political equivalent of that friend who claims they know a guy who knows a guy. Except in this case, the guy they know doesn't actually know them back. It's like they're throwing a party for Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift forgot to RSVP, or even receive an invitation. Now don't get me wrong. These Swifties are working harder than a cat trying to bury its business on a marble floor. They've got Carole King belting out "Shake It Off" like it's a campaign jingle, and more senators than you can shake a microphone at. But let's be real. The only thing missing from this Swift-themed soiree is, well, Swift herself. You've got to admire their dedication, though. They're like those folks who dress up as Elvis and get married in Vegas. Sure, the king isn't there, but by golly, they're gonna make it work anyway. And let's talk about that disclaimer. Not affiliated with Taylor Swift. It's like they're trying to break up with someone they've never actually dated. It's not you, Taylor, it's us. We're just not together. Not. Maybe I'll go see a movie this weekend with Kate. We've got this new Reagan biopic hitting theaters, directed by none other than Sean McNamara. You might know him from such cinematic masterpieces as Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, and Baby Geniuses and the Space Baby. I mean, with credentials like that, how could this possibly go wrong? This 2-hour snooze fest has been collecting dust for 4 years. Apparently, even the film reels were trying to escape. It's less of a biography, and more of a love letter to Reagan that would make even Cupid blush. The movie kicks off with the assassination attempt on Reagan, because nothing says feel-good movie like starting with a shooting, right? Then we're treated to Dennis Quaid playing a 30-year-old Reagan. Talk about suspend your disbelief. I've seen better age regression in Benjamin Button. And let's not forget Jon Voight's Russian accent. It's so thick you could spread it on a slice of bread and call it borscht. He spends most of the movie looking like he just saw a bear riding a unicycle while juggling vodka bottles. The film paints Reagan as God's chosen warrior in a battle of good versus evil. I guess in this version, God's plan involves trickle-down economics and Iran-Contra. Oh, and apparently Reagan knew more about politics than Nixon and JFK combined. Who knew? I guess all those hours watching Bedtime for Bonzo really paid off. The movie even manages to squeeze in a cameo from Scott Stapp as Frank Sinatra. Because nothing says historical accuracy, like the lead singer of Creed pretending to be old Blue Eyes. In the end, this film is about as subtle as a sledgehammer wrapped in the American flag. It's so syrupy sweet, you might need an insulin shot after watching. So there you have it, folks. Reagan. Coming soon to a theater near you. Or if you're lucky, straight to the bargain bin at your local gas station. And right on cue, I just got some crazy texts. Kate, for real? Have fun with that, you traitor. Kate in the movies? You must really be desperate for company. Is your podcast even made with the help of AI? Does Kate know about that? A real man would write his own scripts. Kate, the movies? OMG, are you out of your mind? Well, I was for about a year.